One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. So two of the individuals who are central to the story of Belmont athletics over the last couple of decades, of course, are men's basketball head coach Rick Byrd and then former athletic director Mike Strickland, who you took over for. I think, the obvious question here is how did you think about succeeding a guy like Mike? But I'm actually more interested in this 2 or 3 week crossover time when you came on board and Mike didn't officially retire for a couple more weeks. Walk me through how frequently you guys spent time together, how you tried to structure those meetings, and the output.
Sure. I'll take it back a little bit farther. I've known Mike, obviously, for most of his 20 years. I played basketball at Belmont. I stayed very involved with Belmont athletics over the years, and so was fortunate to build a relationship with Mike to the point where, I was on ad hoc athletic committees, things like that. So I had a pretty good sense of what was going on and the wonderful job that Mike did building that department over the 20 years that he was there. And I say it and I mean it. I don't think I would have gotten the job had Mike not done such a great job with the staff that he had and all the success that he had. And so, when I got announced the job and had time to visit with Mike, we literally would structure a meeting, whether it be a 3-hour meeting to go over the budget, whether it be, here are certain contracts, here's, maybe this contract versus this contract, here's what's going on in this program, et cetera. It was a pretty intensive, first couple weeks where he and I would sit down and spend some time going through that. And it was very beneficial, obviously, to absorb as much as I could from Mike while he was still technically on the clock. And it helped me certainly get a better sense and get me up to speed a lot quicker had it not worked where I didn't get that time with Mike.
I know you had been around Belmont athletics, but did you have a fear at any point in time from your head coaches specifically that they may look at you and go, this guy doesn't understand college athletics? And if so, how did you choose to position yourself against that type of mindset?
Well, there's always that concern. I knew going in when I put my name in the hat that there was going to be some people wondering, how does he feel like he can get this job not having that experience? And what I tried to sell was certainly my Belmont knowledge, my understanding of the university, my understanding of the athletic department. And again, it really goes back to having a great staff in place. And I knew most of the staff, and obviously I knew most of the head coaches. So I don't know if fear is the right word. I think certainly there was always a question in my mind, what direction would Dr. Fisher want to go with the hire of an AD? But once I made it to the Final Four and got that on, face-to-face visit, I felt pretty good about my chances because, had he not seen something in me, I wouldn't have gotten to that Final Four. And then, during the interview process, I knew everyone in most of the meetings and was able to sell through the fact that my love for Belmont, what I was going to bring was energy to the department, was more of that external focus. Obviously, I would learn the day-to-day, functions of the department over time, and I feel like I've done a pretty good job getting up to speed on that. So, I think it was there was always that doubt in my mind, but I also knew that I could bring a lot of wonderful positive attributes to the job.
And after a year now, what item or items would you point to as requiring the biggest learning curve for you?
Well, certainly all the governance issues of the NCAA, the OVC governance issues. Those take time to learn and understand. When I'm sitting in those AD meetings, I don't have near the background and the understanding on how things have been discussed over the years. So that takes a little bit of time to get up to speed. Obviously, a lot of the compliance rules and the rules that are being looked at the NCAA level take certainly some time. But those things. That's why I have a great compliance person, and I have great staff around me to help me navigate through those things.
We talked about Mike Strickland, but obviously I want to touch on Rick Byrd as well and the leadership that he's really produced at a high level for your men's basketball program. I have to imagine the transition was easier given your previous relationship with Rick.
Yeah, certainly. He's amazing. I mean, and he sets the tone for the entire department. The success that he's had, the way he's gone about it. Obviously, coming from the NAIA days to Division I, he understands, the budget challenges that we all face at our level. But the way he is so humble and just, has so much class and really, welcomed me in, understanding my role, has been just, very, very nice and really made my transition into the job that much easier.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.